And here he is, Jacob Pyle.
Southern nights, have you ever felt a southern night? Free as a breeze, not to mention the trees, whistling tunes that you know and love so. Southern nights, just as good even when closed your eyes. I apologize to anyone who could truly say that he has found a better way, yeah. Southern skies, have you ever noticed southern skies? Its precious beauty lies just beyond the eye goes, running through your soul like the stories told of old. Old man, he and his dog had walked the old land. Every flower touched his cold hand as he slowly walked by. Weeping willows would cry for joy. Joy. Feels so good. Feels so good. It's frightening. Wish I could stop this world from fighting. La da 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 la da da la da da. Mysteries like this and many others in the trees, glow in the night in the southern sky. Southern nights, they feel so good, it's frightening. Wish I could stop this world from fighting. La da 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 la da da da. How I love those southern nights. La da 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 la da da la da da.
Thank you very much. All right, here's an old song you may enjoy.
Yesterday, when I was young, the taste of life was sweet as rain upon my tongue. I teased at life as if it were a foolish game, the way the evening breeze may tease a candle flame. The thousand dreams I dreamed, the splendid things I planned, I'd always build to last on weak and shifting sand. I lived by night and shunned the naked light of the day, and only now I see how the years ran away. Yesterday, when I was young, so many happy these songs were waiting to be sung. So many wild pleasures lay in store for me, and so much pain my dazzled eyes refused to see. I ran so fast that time, and youth at last ran out. I never stopped to think what life was all about, and every conversation I can now recall concerned itself with me and nothing else at all. Yesterday, the moon was blue, and every crazy day brought something new to do. I used my magic age as if it were a wand, and never saw the waste and emptiness beyond. The game of love I played with arrogance and pride, and every flame I lit too quickly died. The friends I made all seemed somehow to drift away, and only I am left on stage to end the play. There are so many songs in me that won't be sung. I feel the bitter taste of tears upon my tongue. The time has come for me to pay for yesterday. When I was young.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome everybody to the Jacob Pyle Show, coming to you this week from the Howard County 4-H Fair in Greentown, Indiana. I'm Jacob Pyle. Glad to have you with us. To quote the great Dick Cavett, who was a master at doing late night. He did an interview once with Charles Schultz, and he famously said, and I'll never forget this, in case you're wondering why it's daylight out at 1 o'clock in the morning, we tape during the day. I'll tell you what happened to me today. I was leaving the house to come here to tape the show today, and all of a sudden, for those who don't know me or don't catch up with me, I have sand epilepsy. So, like, if dogs bark, I get epileptic seizures. That's just what I have to deal with every day. And so today what happened was I was leaving my apartment, and my apartment, by the way, has a bunch of dogs nearby. And stuff. And what happened was I went to go check the mail before I left, and this elderly lady had this cute little dog with her, right? Black puppy, all that. And all of a sudden, I went to go check the mail, and the dog started barking, and my epileptic seizures were going off. Nobody asked me if I was okay. Nobody. They just left me there kind of high and dry. You know, it's a funny thing. I don't expect people to understand what I deal with at all. And it's not that I don't like dogs. I love dogs. It's just I'm allergic to dogs. So that's what I always tell people. The least they can do if they notice something like that is to just say, hey, are you okay? Are you alright? People are so, in society these days, people are so quick to judge before they actually get to know the person that you don't know what they're going through.
Keep doing that gymnastics.
So, but anyway, yeah, if they could have asked to see if I was okay, then we wouldn't have had that problem in the first place. Oh, and there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I don't know if you can see this on camera or not, but I have a mustache. I have a mustache out. Paul Petit recently shaved off his beard. Our announcer of the show, Paul Petit, recently shaved off his beard and went mustache only. So I grew my mustache out in your honor, Paul. If you're watching this, I hope you like it. Stay tuned, folks. My guest for tonight, as I mentioned, is Alan Katz. We'll be back with part 1 of his interview after this. Welcome back. For those of you who are just now tuning in, we are on location this week at the Howard County Forage Fair. And you can see, I don't know if you can see behind me enough, the Howard County Forage Fair is a big deal every year. Everybody goes to it. It is the biggest fair in all Howard County. I guess everybody enjoys it so much. So my guest for tonight, as I mentioned previously, is Alan Katz. Now we take this. The funny thing was, I take this in my apartment, like maybe I take this in my apartment some time ago, and you may hear some banging and some song and stuff because they're working on my siding. They were working on my siding, and we tape this, so you may hear some noises in the background. But other than that, the interview was just as good as it can be. It was a good interview. It was a funny interview. And now, here's part 1 of my interview with Alan Katz. Go ahead and tell the folks at home who are watching this today a little something about yourself.
Well, I have a lot of things I do. I have a singing telegram business where I do about 15, 20 different characters, and I go out and I sing to people or prank them or do some crazy stuff. My other business is I do weddings, where I now pronounce you married. And I have the biggest company in Southern California that does that. And we do about 1,500 to 2,000 weddings every year doing that. But it all started with me doing singing telegrams. And that got my bug going. And then somebody says, you should do weddings, and you're the performer, and start your business. So that's what I did. Awesome.
And we were talking... Yeah, we were talking before the break about what telegrams are for those who are pretty much, because basically we go back, like I was saying earlier, it goes back to the days where, like this was before cell phones and text messages. It's basically like someone would be at a typewriter with a little sheet of paper. I'll use Western Union as an example. You call Western Union and they'll be like, oh, can you, they'll ask for your address and then the message, and then a messenger boy will come in and they'll deliver the telegram to your home business.
Okay. So there's an old joke that goes along with this. You want to hear this old joke?
Oh, sure.
So this guy wanted to send a telegram to his friend. And the friend, they knock on the door, the friend answers, they go, I have a telegram for you. He goes, oh, I always wanted a singing telegram. Could you sing me the telegram? He goes, well, I don't normally do that. He goes, please, here's $20. Give it to me as a singing telegram. So he's standing at the door. He goes, okay. And he looks at the telegram. He goes, your sister Rose is dead. Da, 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 da.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's the origin of singing telegrams.
The singing telegram,
right.
Yeah. Do you have a singing telegram for us today on our program? I'm not.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure by the end of this broadcast, I'll have come up with something good for you. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see how the broadcast goes, and then we'll.
Okay.
I'll find something for you at the end.
All right, but let's go back to singing telegrams. Singing telegrams, like you just demonstrated, is pretty much the same thing, except they sing the telegram to you instead of just, here's a message.
Right.
Have a good day.
Right. Basically, I do like three songs, and then I have them fill out a little questionnaire about the person, and I do a little mini roast.
Okay.
So, I go in and I find the person, go to the office or the house or wherever. I say, hi, I'm here to see Cindy. And, Cindy comes out and I go, I have a singing telegram for you. And whatever costume I'm in, whether I'm dressed as Elvis or a gorilla or Austin Powers or dressed as a baby, whatever the telegram is, I'll come in dressed in that costume and then sing some songs and give them a little roast. And it's about 10, 15 minutes. And it's stupid, it's funny, and it's hilarious.
Good, yeah. Now you said you had some interesting stories about what you do with singing telegrams.
Oh gosh, so many.
Go ahead and share us a few because we got plenty of time. It's a half-hour show. It's 20 minutes for our conversation, but it's a half-hour show.
No problem. I'll tell you a couple quick stories.
Okay.
So I got hired to be a baby, to go in. They're having dinner at this restaurant. It was the guy's 50th birthday, and he has 4 daughters, and he always wanted a son. So they hired me to come in as a baby to announce that I'm his new son, that he always wanted a son. So they're in the back room of this restaurant, and I'm dressed in my baby outfit. I have an overcoat on so I can walk into the restaurant. And they're in the back room. Okay, so just before I go in there, I drop the overcoat, I run into the room, and I'm a white guy, and they're all black.
Okay.
And so I go, oh, I heard you wanted a son. I never thought he'd be white. And they just start losing it. And then I start doing a roast and singing some songs to him. And then I have a closing joke, which I figure they're either going to love it or they're going to beat the crap out of me. So I figured I would take my chance. So I opened up my diaper and I looked down and I go, thanks, Dad, the myth is true. And they all lost it. And it was a crazy, crazy telegram. But my weirdest one is I get a call from this lady. She goes, I want to send a singing telegram. I go, okay, what's the occasion? She goes, I just found out my husband was cheating on me, and I want to send a singing telegram to his mistress. I'm like, okay, all right, I can do that one. So she tells me to come to her house, and I have some things to take. And she's telling me the story that she finds this love letter in his pocket from this woman at his work. So she wants me to go to her work, bring a bouquet of flowers, bouquet of balloons. She gave me 50 Xerox copies of the love letter to pass out, and a giant-sized family portrait of the husband and wife and their brand new baby. She goes, to let her know that I know, sing her a song to let her know, and let's have a good time. I'm like, I can do this. So I get to her office, and it's one of those security offices where you have to get buzzed in. So I get buzzed in. And they go, her desk is in the very far back of the corner. So I go all the way through the office, and all these people seeing me with the balloons and the flowers. So they follow me over to her desk and go, hey, are you Cindy? She's like, yeah. I go, I have a singing telegram for you. Do you know a guy named Randy? She goes, yeah. And I hand her the flowers and I hand her the balloons. I go, I bet you and Randy have a special relationship. She goes, but why are you here? I go, I have a singing telegram for you. But it's not from Randy. It's from Randy's wife. And she's like, oh, crap, oh, crap. And here's a song I wrote just for the occasion. And it goes like this. Well, you messed up their life. You took this man, he's got a wife, and they've got a kid. How could you do what you did? You messed up their life. And then I handed the picture of the family. I go, look, here's a lovely picture of the family you destroyed. Well, have a nice day. And on the way out, I passed out copies of the love letter to everybody and ran on out the door.
Cool. Yeah, that's a really good story. Now, we have about maybe less than a minute left before we have to take our break here. Real quickly, how can people get a hold of you if they need a singing telegram or if they need someone to officiate their weddings?
For the singing telegrams, you go to sillygrams.com. That's sillygrams.com. And you can look at all my different characters there. For somebody who wants to get married, you go to greatofficiants.com. That's great with officiants, OFFICIANTS.com.
All right. We'll be back. More with Alan Katz in a moment.
If you'd like to be a guest on the Jacob Pyle Show, or if you are ordering a DVD copy of tonight's program, send Jacob an email. His email address is jtpile1@aol.com. Please include the air date seen on your screen when ordering. Residents outside of Indiana add $5 shipping and handling.
Thank you, Paul, very much. For those of you who are just now tuning in, we're at the Howard County Forest Fair in Greentown today for the Jacob Pyle Show. My guest for tonight is Alan Katz. Now, we taped this interview a few weeks back in my apartment, and they were doing some siding work, so you may hear some banging of a hammer or sawing and stuff like that. that's there will be some sunny work on my house, on my apartment, so that's why you might hear some background noise again. So now, here we go with the conclusion of my interview with Alan Katz.
We talked earlier about singing telegrams. Now let's talk about officiating weddings. How did you become a wedding officiator, I guess you can call it?
Well, about 21 years ago, actually almost 22, my best friend came to me and goes, "Hey, will you officiate my wedding?" Now, I don't recommend this to anybody, but I'm a performer. I'm a seasoned entertainer. So this was something that would be in my wheelhouse. So I did all my research, and at the end of the ceremony, everyone's like, "Oh my God, whatever you're doing, quit it. This is what you need to be doing for your lifetime." So I said, okay. So I put up a website, and I started working the room. And now I've turned this one-off thing that I did. I turned it into the biggest company in the industry in Southern California, where I have 39 professional officiants. We do about 1,500 to 2,000 weddings a year. I have a wedding chapel where we marry people every day, and I have 2 this afternoon. The next thing that we do is we go off to locations like golf courses or hotels and do the weddings there. We also do weddings on the beach, where we set up everything on the beach, the chairs, the arch, and everything, and we do the ceremony. But we don't do the typical boring ceremony. Now, we're gathered here today, blah, 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 blah. No Reverend Lovejoy stuff. We have the idea that weddings should be fun. They should be exciting. They should tell the story of the couple, and not just be the same mundane things that are seen from wedding to wedding to wedding. We take it and we jejune it up to when people walk away from the wedding, they go, "Oh my God, that was the most incredible ceremony I've ever seen. Now let's party." Instead of hearing, "Oh, thank God that's over. I need a drink." So we've come up with a recipe for creating these types of ceremonies that are unlike anything anybody's ever seen before. Everything from just the traditional ceremonies, but with a great story, or we even do the themed weddings. Like I've done everything from, and this is where my singing telegram background comes in, everything from Elvis to Austin Powers. I've done weddings as Marilyn Monroe, Star Wars weddings, any genre you can think of, I've dressed up like that. I've done weddings in my mankini before, because that's what they wanted. I'll do weddings dressed in drag, and I go as Marilyn Monroe, and it's silly. And then on my website, on my themed wedding page, you can see a lot of those different characters. I've done Dumbledore from Harry Potter, and just whatever people want, that's what I do. And we create an environment where people can actually have a good time at their wedding and not be bored and not be sad. And that's how we roll.
Yeah, I remember. It reminds me, what was it when we were talking earlier about the singing telegrams thing. I've been through the same shoes. I was not a singing telegram person, but I was when I was in school, I was a student aide for at one time I had the honor of giving a teacher some flowers from her husband, and I knocked on the door, and the student's like, "Oh, look at this," and then I gave her the flowers and stuff, and I said, "Thank you." Yeah, and that was the end of that was the end of that.
That was your delivery service.
That was my only delivery. That was my only floral delivery service I've ever done, and everybody was amazed. But
so years ago, I used to drive a limousine.
Yeah.
And I would get celebrities in my limousine all the time, and this is where I get one of my great stories from. Is I was driving Ashton Kutcher and Brittany Murphy around, and about 2 weeks later, I drive Brittany Murphy, and she goes, "Oh yeah, Ashton and I are dating now, and Valentine's Day is coming up. Will you show up at the set of that '70s show and do a singing telegram to Ashton?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So they called the stage manager. I had my own dressing room, and in between breaks between the scenes, they brought me onto the stage, and I'm dressed as Cupid, and I start singing to Ashton, and he's completely embarrassed in front of the whole cast and crew. And it's a hilarious, everybody's cracking up.
My dad's a big fan of the show.
I'm a huge fan of the show, and so for me and it was in the basement. So there I am sitting in the basement, and he's sitting on the couch, and I'm doing my thing on the stage. It was pretty epic for me. But 2 days later, I went back to the stage to drop off some other people in the limo, and Ashton sees me and he goes, "Alan, come here." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, He goes, "You were really funny. Thank you so much for doing that. But I broke up with her because of that. Because nobody punks me on my show. So it made him angry. And because I punked him on his show, and he's the master of punked. So I punked the punker. And so they broke up. Now, fast forward a couple months, I'm on another thing driving a limo, and there's Brittany Murphy. And so I go up to her and I go, "Hey, Brittany, I'm really sorry about how that turned out." And she's like, "Yeah, I feel really bad. And I didn't think it would cause the breakup, but oh well, things happen." And then like a month later, she died.
Wow.
So it was really weird. But I caused one of the big Hollywood breakups of all time.
Wow,
so,
that's shocking. But it's a good story, but it's a shocking story. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I don't think that killed her, but
yeah.
But it's being part of history. I guess it's kind of fun.
Yeah. So we still have about less than 4 minutes left before we have to wrap this up. I
think I got a song ready for you.
Oh, you got a song ready for me? Okay.
I got a song ready for me.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So here it goes. They tell me that you're streaming. I can't believe it's true. Hey man, I'm nothing without you. Don't take that feed away from me. Broadcast our story for history. And when it's done, it'll be true. 'Cause being on your show is great to do. Doing your show is great. I'm sorry, I lost it there. To do.
Thank you. That's yeah. Thank you. That's very kind and thoughtful of you.
Well, having fun in life is what life is all about. You can't be serious all the time.
Right.
Yes, there are serious moments, but you know what? Take time to make somebody laugh, to go out there and make somebody smile. Because when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Yeah.
When you're laughing, the whole world laughs with you.
Yeah,
so that's what it's about.
Yeah. It's amazing. That song and Charlie Chaplin's "Smile," I think, fits well perfectly together, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So we have less than 2 minutes left. Again, how do people get a hold of you for your singing telegrams?
Sure. For the singing telegrams, again, it's sillygrams.com. Now, I'm based in Southern California, so I only cover this area, but I do phonograms all over the U.S., so those are only $25. I'm also on Cameo, where I can do cameos for people, and it's under my name, Alan Katz.
Awesome.
So it's a fun way to surprise someone, it's a fun way to do something. And then for my wedding business, again, you just go to greatofficiants.com, or if you're here in Southern California and want a wedding chapel, cutelittle.weddingchapel.com. If you want to get married on the beach, it's SoCal Beach Weddings. And if you want to elope, that's our elopement site. It's called elopetoday.com.
Awesome.
And, my next business I'm opening up very shortly is a proposal business. And it's going to be a fun way, an easy way, an inexpensive way for people to propose in a beautiful way.
Awesome.
So,
all right, we got to go. Alan Katz, thank you so much for joining us. It was a fun conversation.
And that's also going to wrap up this session of the Jacob Pyle Show for now, because we're simply out of time. I'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. For Alan Katz, Paul Poteet, and all of us on the Jacob Pyle Show, I'm Jacob Pyle. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and goodbye, everybody.
This program has been pre-recorded. Saying good night from all of us at the Jacob Pyle Show, I'm Paul Poteet.